Hi, my name is Kevin Millington, and I'm happy to be a trustee with the Empire State Aeroscience Museum. And we're here to continue our history series with a very special guest, Gene Mastro. Today is Saturday, October 27th, 2012, and we're here at the museum at Schenectady County Airport in Glenville. Welcome, Gene.
Thank you.
Our special guest, Gene Mastro, and you were the radio operator.
Right.
And I am aware that the B-24 was one of the greatest planes. It was the most prolifically built American bomber in history. I think 18,000 were built. It had very heavily armed 10 to 12 50 caliber machine guns, and it had a crew of 10. Where was your crew position on the plane as radio operator?
We're just behind the pilots.
Okay, so you sat right,
Sat just behind the
kind
pilots.
of near the turret.
Turret and turret.
Okay.
There's just four in the crew. The pilot, co-pilot, an engineer, and the radio operator.
Okay. Well, just seeing the B-24, here, I was so impressed with its size. I mean, compared to its stablemate, the B-17. I thought the B-17 was more, had a tubular fuselage and,
Right.
and almost like a delta wing, a large
Yeah.
wing. But the B-24, as you can see, is a very long wingspan.
Yeah,
Davis
that's a
wing.
big wingspan, yeah.
What did you think of the B-24?
Well, we love that compared to C-46s. We loved being in that one. We were the only group there that had the B-24s. The rest of them had the C-46s.
Oh, okay. Well, before we started the interview, we were chatting. You said you had a very unique career on the B-24, and that you used it you flew on it in the Indian theater as a transport machine.
Yeah, we transport all different types of stuff. Food, gasoline, just about everything for the bases in China.
So you flew over the Himalayan mountains?
Himalayan mountains.
Boy, that was a legendary airlift campaign.
A lot of flights were real nice and easy, and a lot of things, we had a lot of rough weather to fly into.
Well, tell us about a typical mission, Gene. You would be flying cargo from India over the Himalayas.
Most of us, when we first started, we went to Kunming, where most of the flights went to Kunming. Then there's about 4 or 5 other bases there. We fly. Sometimes we didn't know what the cargo was. There were all boxes and stuff. Sometimes we didn't even know what it was. But most of the time, there was a lot of gas because we started flying gas for the B-29s.
Oh, right, yeah.
And from Chengdu, when they moved the capital from Kunming to Chengdu, and the first time we flew to Chengdu, the most amazing sight is when we come down to land. There are thousands and thousands of people, kids 3 years old, 4 years old, all dressed in blue. And there's a sea of people all around the whole airport. And all they were doing is breaking rocks and making the airplane. They're making the airplane. They had 9 foot of stone that they made the runway for the B-29.
You were preparing.
They were preparing.
Large. I imagine the B-29 would use a large.
B-29 were larger. And
Large air.
And they had thousands of people just breaking rocks, little kids breaking rocks. And it was such an amazing sight.
Yes.
We couldn't have any cameras with it. I was looking at some pictures of it, but we never had cameras there. But then, a little while after that, the B-29s came in. So we had one land in Jorhat where we were that had trouble, and we couldn't believe how big they were.
What year was this, Gene?
That's
B-29
probably 43, into 43, going to 44. That's when they started bringing B-29s in.
Okay. And how long was a typical supply mission from India to China?
The average missions were anywhere like from 7 to 9 hours.
Also
Both
ways.
Both ways. That's going both ways.
Okay.
About 4.5.
What altitude did you typically fly at?
We usually flow around 30,000.
Really? 30,000?
Yeah,
that must have been the top ceiling on the B-24.
Pretty much, but we flew because you were getting ahead of the mountain, over the mountains, and storms coming and like that. They average around 30,000 most of the time.
Well, Gene, at that altitude, I know at the B-24, like, you know, most World War II planes, or all World War II planes, was unpressurized.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I would imagine at over 10,000 feet, you would have
Yeah,
to
we have to
wear an oxygen mask.
Wear oxygen mask.
It was probably pretty cold, too.
It was cold. The plane wasn't too bad, but it was on the chilly side. You had to wear clothes. You had to have heavy clothes you wear. But
Well, it sounds like a really challenging mission, flying over the Himalayas, I get.
it was. And then one night we were flying, and it was a real bad storm, and we couldn't. The pilot got lost, and it needed a signal. So I tried to get a signal, and all I could get on the plane was a lot of static. You couldn't get it. And then the co-pilot blew his top at me because I couldn't get a signal. So he got on the phone, and just as soon as he got on the phone, we pulled through. We got a signal, and I was turned in. He turned me into my supervisor. And I explained to the supervisor what happened. He said, "Well, he's a damn idiot anyway." so he took my.
It sounds like a stressful day for everyone.
Yeah,
He took it out on you.
I really was upset over that part.
Thank you for bringing you brought some remarkable material here, and this is your flight log.
That's my flight log.
Why don't you tell us about this? What does it describe, and how many flights did you have?
Well, I ended up with 110 flights. We were supposed to be released at about 75 flights, but it ended up being 100 before they let us go.
Oh.
So, I mean, there's Kunming, Chenkang, Yangsun.
No, this tells where
These
you
are
flew
all
from,
the
what
flights,
date.
dates and the times it took for the flights.
Okay. Well, this must be one of your most valuable, I would think,
Yeah.
your valuable
Yeah.
possessions. You had over 110 missions?
110 altogether I had
Okay, all in the B-24?
in the B-24s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gene, and your mission must have been very obviously popular, in that you were bringing humanitarian aid or supplies and fuel to the bases.
We have one sad story though. There's one of the planes. We just got a full load of beer to go to Kunming,
Yeah.
and we didn't get it. Another plane had it,
Huh?
and they had trouble going over to Kunming and they knew it was coming in Kunming, and they had to dump the whole load of beer out of the plane. So they weren't very popular when they landed in Kunming.
So humanitarian aid and beer, right? That's important.
It was for beer for Christmas time.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I think see, I'll show you the flights that the different flights that they have. This is all those trips that they took, different planes. That's the flight trips from the into China.
This describes the
All of
the air routes
bases
from-
that were there and the routes that they took.
Oh, okay. Where did you spend most of your time in India? Did you have a
We
favorite
were,
base or base that you
we were in Chapwa, and then we got transferred to Jorhat. Jorhat's this little town in here. Jorhat. Right
Oh,
here.
yes, okay.
Right here.
Yes.
That's where we stayed the whole time we were there.
And these were your flight routes
The
to
flight routes.
turning points and flight routes?
Turning points in a place in China where we had to fly to.
Oh. This is in remarkably good condition.
Yeah.
Now, did you have any memorable missions that you care to share? What was your most eventful one?
Well, the one I told before, I thought that we lost the signal. I couldn't get the signal in kind of trap. That was the worst one I had of the thing. But it turned out all right for me anyway. So.
Well, Gene, what was the danger in that you, without radio contact, you would get
Well, he lost his bearings.
Lost your
and
navigation.
He didn't know where we were. He lost, and actually that was the co-pilot's job to keep track of everything. And he actually lost the plane, and he's the one who tried to blame me because I couldn't get a bearing.
Well, recall us, again, how did you get back on course?
Well, the bearing come through, we finally got contact through the static, and we got the bearing, new bearings, and so that's how we if they couldn't get contact, we would have been in real trouble.